Hello, I'm David Enders, owner and founder of Dave's Collectible Coins, and this is my good friend Tom Greiling here with us today.
Hi, glad to be here.
Yes, Tom's been very busy the last couple of days running around central and eastern Michigan, going to various coin dealers. He loaded his car full of boxes. I think he has, we have about 10, 12 boxes.
Oh yeah, a lot of proof and mint sets and some various other things that we'll get into here and other videos.
And today, the focus of this video today is we're going to talk about the 1979 and 1981 Type 1 and 2 proof coins. So a little later on, I'll tell you some, about how to find them and how to identify them and stuff. And then a little later on, we'll go through the sets that Tom just came up with. But one of the things I think is you'd like to know is that, Tom, like, how do you buy the proof sets when you go to a shop?
I like to go and I kind of the vacuum cleaner. I'll buy all of the old inventory that has been sitting around the shop and that they just, it's more than they need, so I'll come in and buy all of it. And then we can bring it here, spread it all out, sort it all out by date, and then we can look for the various varieties that collectors seek. Again, today we're going to focus on the Type 1 and Type 2 coins from the 79 and 81 sets, but there are a few that we look for.
Okay. Shall we get busy and open these boxes
Let's do it. Let's break it all out.
All right, let's go. Okay, here we have a stack of 1981 sets that just came in, and here's the stack of 1979. We have not looked at these sets. We don't know if we're going to find anything or not in here. I'd say the odds are pretty good of finding some Type 2 coins by the number of them that are here. I wanted to say one thing is the 1981 penny Type 2 is the rarest of the Type 2 coins. The Susan B. Anthony dollar tends to be the most expensive one because of the demand for it. A lot of coin albums have a slot for it. So we're really hoping to find a 1981 penny. That would be really cool. So, and I want you to notice how well Tom and I work together and how quick we are when we are doing something we really know how to do. Okay, here we go. Okay, that was fun.
Let's show off our goodies. I'm
yes.
excited.
Well, let's start with Tom. He found the best thing.
Sure. Well, he gave me the toughest one. The 81s are the toughest to search through, to distinguish those two. And typically, fewer coins are Type 2. But we did find one set, and we got the cent that Dave was hoping for. We also found a half and a nickel. So we got 3 Type 2 coins in one of the 81 sets. The rest didn't yield any Type 2s. And Dave?
Yeah, and then I did all the 1979 sets. This was an incredibly productive batch of sets. I think probably about a third of the sets had some Type 2 coins. Anywhere from 1 penny, here's a penny and a nickel, and then several of the sets had 4 Type 2 coins in them. The penny, nickel, dime, and quarter. Didn't find any of the dollars or halves, which are the better 1979 coins.
But, you did find one half there.
Oh, did I find a half? Correct me here. I did find $1/2. So the Susan B. Anthony, of course, is the one that everybody's looking for because that's the one that goes in the album. Well, actually, most coin albums do have a slot for 79 Type 2. Many of them don't have a slot for 81 Type 2. We do have some here that I've gotten over the last few days. I think I've probably gone through 50 to 75 1979 sets and maybe 100 or more 1981 sets. And in this hunt, I found a small group here that have, in this group, there's some nickels and I think a quarter that are Type 2. This particular set here was a very good find. It has a 1981 Type 2 dollar in it. We don't get those so often. That's the one that everybody's looking for. It's the dollar and the penny are the 2 scarcest coins of this type. First off, I'd like to tell you a little bit of why why there is a Type 1 and a Type 2 coin for those 2 years. In 1979, the mint has a punch or some kind of a method where they put the mint mark in the coin. And sometime during the year, late in the year, this device had worn out or broken or was lost. And so they made a replacement. So the early 1979 coins look very much like a blob that's sort of S-shaped. And then late in the year, they started making the mint mark looking very clear and very much like an S. So as collectors found that difference, they started calling them the Type 1 and the Type 2 coin.
The Type 2s are much scarcer since it was late in the year that they made that change to the dies.
Yeah. And if anybody has any like new sets in boxes, where they were delivered from the mint, you can actually look at the date on the mint. And if they're in December, I think some of the ones in November, you have a very good chance of finding Type 2 coins in those. I had a group of 30 or 40 sets come in, and I was going through them, and I was examining the sets, and I found this one right here, which is has a Type 2 dollar in it. The dime is Type 1, the penny is Type 1. The half dollar has a very large scratch right on the lens, so I'm not sure about that one until we break this lens open. The nickel is a Type 2, and the quarter is a Type 1. So what I would do is I was going through these sets, I would see that I had these Type 2 coins, and then I labeled them right on the coin. Now this dollar
right on the lens,
or right on the. Yeah, I'm sorry, not on the coin. Right on the. I labeled them right on the lens, and as they go through our process, someone else will break these apart and they'll set aside the Type 2 coins for Type 2 listings, and the Type 1 coins go through the regular proof listings. I'll go into a little bit about telling the difference between the 1979 Type 1 and 2 and the 1981 Type 1 and 2. As I was saying earlier, the 1979 has a very clear and distinct difference. This set here has some coins of each, Type 1 and Type 2. But I'm looking at the half dollar here, and you can see that the mint mark is kind of like a blob or very misshapen. And then I'm looking at the nickel, and that one's a very clear Type 2 mint mark on that coin. I look at the dollar, it's a Type 1, and here's the penny, and it's a Type 2. I see there's a little bit of spotting on the coins, so it's not as good a specimen as we would like. Here's the quarter, it's a Type 2 mint mark, and the nickel is also a Type 2 mint mark. So this is a very nice set.
Mark it up.
For our own purposes, I'll mark these, and now they're ready to go through our system. When you get into the 1981 Type 2, or Type 1 and Type 2 mint marks, those are much more difficult to tell apart. It's a similar way they came about. They changed the way they were putting the mint mark in. Well, the 1981 Type 1 mint mark is actually the same mint mark as in the 1979 Type 2. So they can be very clear. The 1981 Type 2 is also very clear, so you have to look for the shape of the mint mark. So that was very worth doing. This is actually part of Tom's haul last night, and he'll sell these to me. He's probably going to charge me a lot of money for them, but it's okay. We had a lot of fun finding them, and I hope this has been informative. I hope you understand better about finding Type 1 and Type 2 coins and what the differences are. Thank you very much for watching.